Michael stands in front of the locked door. He clasps his hands together. The tattoos on his hands form a face. Using tattoos, Michael fools the facial recognition system. He enters Poseidon's lair, grabs the hard drive from the server, but Poseidon has Michael's son as leverage. They agreed to meet at the old dock the next day at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, Teabag and his son follow Michael's instructions. They find a mysterious man. It's Blue Hawaii, someone Michael had contacted before. Blue Hawaii is a master of recreating crime scenes. Years ago, Michael met him in prison during a mission, and even helped him escape. Now it's time for him to shine. Everything is ready. Michael arrives at the dock to meet Poseidon. Poseidon refuses to hand over little Mike. Michael pulls out a pew-pew, but suddenly, a female assassin appears behind him. Michael has no choice but to surrender the pew-pew. Unexpectedly, Whip and Teabag also show up to help, but in the next second, Whip falls to the ground. To protect everyone else, Michael surrenders to Poseidon. Poseidon forces Michael to retrieve the hard drive. Meanwhile, the police storm the dock. When the female assassin gets distracted, Teabag charges forward, avenges Whip's death, but gets arrested in the process. Poseidon drags Michael deeper into the dock. Suddenly, Michael's phone rings. It's Sarah and Lincoln. They've rescued his son, and captured Poseidon's accomplices. Realizing he's in trouble, Poseidon tries to end Michael. If Michael dies, no one will know where the hard drive is. Suddenly, police sirens echo from afar. As Poseidon gets distracted, Michael escapes. On the way, he takes off his jacket, puts on another one he had prepared, runs into a small room. Poseidon follows and ends him, but then realizes the scene looks identical to when he killed the CIA deputy director 6 years ago. Poseidon realizes he's been tricked. Michael isn't dead. The pew-pew Poseidon took was fake. Seeing this, Poseidon admires Michael's genius, but remains calm. He knows the police are on their way. Michael tells him, by the time they arrive, this scene and I will be gone. Turns out, the scene is inside a truck container. Blue Hawaii is driving them away. At the last moment, Poseidon pushes Michael out of the truck, and jumps out himself. The police arrive seconds later. Michael is taken in for questioning. Poseidon starts acting innocent. Just as he's about to walk free, another group of officers shows up. They accuse Poseidon of murdering the CIA deputy director. Poseidon assumes the evidence is from the recreated scene, but what he didn't expect was that Michael left the deputy director's blood at Poseidon's base. Poseidon finally realizes Michael's plan was just to stall him. The scene shifts. Michael is in the CIA director's office. Poseidon's accomplices are arrested. They confess all of Poseidon's crimes, with undeniable evidence. The director restores Michael's freedom. He even invites Michael to join the CIA, but Michael declines. He just wants to be with his family now. At Fox River Prison, Poseidon enters his cell. He smiles confidently, certain he can escape using his skills, but suddenly, Teabag jumps down from the top bunk. Luckily, Michael had every step of his plan tattooed on his body. He looked at his wrist tattoo and started his next move. What he didn't expect was an equally smart opponent showing up. The FBI sent their top agent, Mahone. Mahone took over the case and quickly noticed Michael's tattoos were unusual. He found the tattoo artist and asked about their meaning, but she said Michael designed every detail himself. She only followed his instructions to tattoo them. Michael's instructions were so precise, it took her 200 hours to finish. As for the secrets hidden in them, she had no idea. Hearing this made Mahone even more excited. He knew Michael's escape secrets were all in those tattoos. Mahone went to Michael's old house before he was arrested. He saw tiny holes covering the walls. He could almost feel Michael's every move in that room.
Every single element. And then you destroy all the evidence. I want divers down in the river.
No wonder he's the FBI's best agent. Mahone even found a hard drive Michael had thrown away. Next, he followed a location tattooed on Michael's body. Using credit card records, he tracked down a warehouse Michael once rented. He sent a team to raid it, but it was empty. Mahone was confused. If it's not a location, then what is it?
Officer. Nothing. Oh, that kid's clever. It's not a place. It's a name.
He quickly searched for the name, but found no living person matched it. Wait, if it's not a living person, could it be a dead one?
We're gonna go to the cemetery. Now.
Michael had already found the grave marked with that name. He dug up the grave. Inside was clothing, cash, a passport, and car keys. Just as Michael and his team changed and prepared to leave, a government car slowly approached. Out stepped Mahone. He had followed the tattoo clues right to the grave. Michael stared at him in shock. He couldn't believe someone had figured out his plan. At that moment, Mahone looked up and spotted a shadow slipping deeper into the woods. Mike bought a toy pew-pew. He painted it black to make it look real. Then he asked Lincoln to call the prison, pretending to be a defense lawyer, saying he wanted to speak with his son, LJ, to avoid wiretapping. They used a secret code. Lincoln told his son to take the right elevator, but Mahone overheard their call. He questioned LJ about the code, but LJ stayed quiet. Soon, LJ was escorted to the elevators. Just as the left elevator opened, he pretended to tie his shoe to stall for time. When the right elevator opened, he got in with the guards. Mahone noticed the elevator sign above. He quickly figured out the code's meaning. Right before the door closed, Mahone stopped it. He insisted on escorting LJ himself. With a smug grin, he stepped in and closed the door. Suddenly, Michael opened the elevator ceiling, pointed the fake pew-pew at Mahone. He told LJ to hand Mahone's pew-pew to him. As Lincoln pulled LJ up, the fake pew-pew slipped and fell. Mahone instantly realized it was a toy. He grabbed LJ's leg, refusing to let go. Despite the struggle, Michael couldn't save LJ. Michael and Lincoln fled the prison. They stole a car and drove off, but Lincoln got injured in the escape. Mahone inspected the scene. He ordered surveillance on all nearby hospitals, but Michael, being a genius, wouldn't go to a hospital. He took Lincoln to Nika's house for help. Though Nika owed Michael a favor, she hesitated to harbor two fugitives. Michael promised to leave after patching Lincoln up. He asked Nika to watch his brother, while he went to retrieve their car. The car held fake passports for their escape, and was specially modified for their plan. But when Michael reached the parking spot, he realized the car had been towed. He rushed to the impound lot, paid the fee, and the car was brought out, but the bag in the back seat was gone. He questioned the lot worker, who claimed it wasn't there when the car was towed. Turns out, a homeless man had stolen it. Unfortunately, the men got arrested by the police. The bag ended up in Mahone's hands. Mahone found Michael's fake passports inside. He interrogated the homeless man about the bag. Following the clues, he tracked down the impound lot. Mahone ordered the worker to stall Michael. Sensing danger, Michael grabbed the keys, hopped into the car, and sped off. The brothers headed to Utah to find the $5 million left by Westmoreland, planning to use it to flee to Mexico. To throw the police off their trail, Michael left himself a voicemail exposing their location. As long as the phone stayed on, Mahone could track them. Michael parked the car by a bridge. He opened the trunk and pulled out raw pork. If the plan worked, they'd finally escape for good.